Stop looking at your butt pictures on Instagram. You're just swiping and you're just jacking off all the time. Get your shit together, figure it out. And that requires a lot of fucking ayahuasca and mushroom ceremonies to clear out your shit, right?
I think it's very important to look at your shadows. He really does show me that he serves the divine feminine.
So many men don't know how to love themselves, so they don't know how to really love other people. I believe every young man should have a mentor and a mentee. I had a conversation with a young man about erectile dysfunction. I had that issue in my 30s. You're supposed to have, be hard and be able to have sex with all these women.
I would use touch more.
If you receive any sort of eye contact,
trying to figure out each other's love language.
Talk about your feelings.
Uncomfortable, I'm quite turned off by that.
Don't be scared to make the first move.
The sexual part will come later.
What's up, everyone? This is Steffo Shambo. Today, we're filming here in beautiful Thailand in one of the biggest festivals in Southeast Asia called Wonderfruit. We're walking around the festival asking people about their best dating and relationship advice for young men. So, let's dive in. As a woman, in your experience...
How would I want men to approach me?
Yes.
I think try not to go in too sexual, try to just connect with someone organically, like a normal person, just try to get to know them on a normal individual to individual level, and the sexual part will come later. I think a lot of times guys make the mistake of coming on too strong and really aggressively wanting to get something, and when someone approaches you already trying to sort of get something out of you in a sense, like that automatically puts up defenses and you feel you want to reject them, If they just kind of approach you organically, just trying to connect with you as a person, it's a lot easier to open up and sort of feel a little bit more comfortable around them and invite a more warm connection with them.
What are examples of connecting without coming on too strong?
Just ask about their interests and hobbies. See if there's something you have in common. Be curious. What movies do you like? What kind of music do you like? Even if you don't necessarily have something in common, just asking questions and remaining curious about.
But do you feel they become more like friends then?
I don't think that by itself makes it more likely to be friends. I think it's an opening to connecting with a person, and whether or not it becomes a more friend relationship or a more sexual relationship, it's just based on if there's a real vibe there. Yeah.
I think emotional availability to notice what's actually the fundamental need that she's speaking of apart from the surface.
All of my greatest relationships have started from a place of friendship. So in a friendly way. I don't like it when men are too under the mindset that you should be more persistent and, even if there are signs that the person is not very interested, to kind of keep pushing, keep going.
How do you feel when men are approaching you with this sexual forwardness?
Uncomfortable, I'm quite turned off by that.
I agree. I think to act like a gentleman from the start instead of being very in a harassing manner.
Just being open and talk about your feelings. If you really like a person, I think there's no ways of what's good or what's bad.
Don't be scared to make the first move, because true love happens when we are all taking initiatives instead of sitting there and waiting for something to happen. Be brave and go for it.
if you receive any sort of eye contact and it seems like the feeling is mutual, then go up and talk to her. Just nicely and easily. Just make it natural.
Isn't there a risk to falling into the friend zone then?
If it goes to the friend zone, that's where it's supposed to.
Is it the man's responsibility to take it out of the friend zone?
It depends on the consensual relationship, if both parties are interested. And that will be known. That energy is going to make itself evident. So if the relationship should continue, it will continue. If it should.
Do you think women know that energy and that intention more?
Everyone knows it. It's natural, it's intuitive.
Guys sometimes just don't know how. They're stuck in their head, you know what I mean? How do you guys do it?
It's something you cultivate. So for me, I've learned that in meditation and yoga and walks and hanging out with my dog and hanging out with myself and listening to my thoughts and going deeper into my thoughts and to, when I have a feeling, acting on that feeling, just again being authentic and never pushing anything, of course, just following what naturally flows.
I think every woman, including me, wants to be seen for who we are. Just asking the question and get to know the person. And if you can build friendship, you can build relationships. You don't go building long-lasting relationships right away, right? Because Because you don't know what is planned for yourself. You let higher power decide. You just go curious. You want to know the person and you want to see what will evolve from that. Is it friendship? Is it relationships? I don't know.
But do you want a man to escalate and turn it from a friendship to romantic?
I think it's both. It's not man escalating.
No, it can be the woman. You like to do it, or would you prefer the man to do it?
Both way out, right?
Do you do it more often, or? No.
I
Okay.
don't.
Okay.
I don't. I usually wait.
Okay. So how would he know when it's the right time? So a lot of men are confused. They don't know how to read the signals, and maybe they feel like they're being friend-zoned.
First, we will feel if there is connection more than physical, if there is intimacy, right? We will feel that. Second is to be brave enough to talk about it, and to be brave enough to get rejected, which is very, very difficult for everyone, right? But again, the best way is surrender. If I know this person is for me, right? Or if I trust that I will meet the right person, I can just say, right? And if person says, oh, I'm not in the same page, it's okay. I surrender that something better is coming.
And what would you like to hear? Like, I like
enjoy
you.
our friendship, but
Yeah.
I want more. Are
Yeah.
you there or not? You can
Yeah.
use body language,
Mm.
right? But again, like everyone comes from different maybe cultures and families, and sometimes people don't understand even body language. So then words help.
What's your body language that you like him?
I would use touch more.
Like on the shoulder?
Yeah. Change the goal.
The goal?
Yes. Don't set the goal of lifelong relationships, but set the goal of human connection. And surrender which of those human connections will become relationships.
The world's hyper-masculine perspective and the patriarchy, as they call it, we are programmed to be a certain way. So many men don't know how to love themselves, so they don't know how to really love other people. We know how to protect, we know how to manipulate and control, but we don't know how to love so often. So I think that's, for me personally, my journey through trying to figure out who the fuck I am, that's kind of where I became who I am now. I think I'm doing okay for myself at 41 now.
I can feel it. I can feel it. And I feel you're ahead of a lot of younger men who are struggling right now, especially in dating and relationship and all that. What do you have to say to them if they feel a little bit awkward about opening up emotionally?
You have to find a way to not care about what other people think about you, especially people who don't know you, and try to live your best self. I wake up every day and try to fail. I try something new. I try to make myself better. And failure, we have to stop being afraid of being failures, because that's when you first try to start walking, you didn't do it on your first try. You failed a lot. Like, I was a soldier for 10 and a half years. I wasn't a perfect shot the first time. I had to learn, I had to drill this body. I had to work and stay in shape and stay healthy. It's that journey, but sometimes you rep to failure. You will fail, and you got to become comfortable with that. We have to teach young men to be comfortable with failure. And I don't care what it is. It could be sports, it could be relationships, it could be money. You have to be comfortable with failure. So any young man, and I'm 41 now, so any 21, 22-year-old, I say, the world now, you can find your tribe. The beauty of the internet, we grew up without the internet. So the beauty of the internet now is you can find people who support you and think like you, and who will challenge you as well. I think one of the biggest things that's harming young men now is there's nobody to check them. I grew up in a world where I had uncles and cousins who would say, hey, you're doing the wrong thing, fix it, right? You had people to check you, but now with the internet, it's so easy to kind of become isolated, and that prevents you from having a mentor. I believe every young man should have a mentor and a mentee. You have somebody who knows more than you and somebody who knows less than you. So a mentor is going to give you those little tidbits in life that you don't know yet. I'm 41, my mentor is 67, and my mentee is 19. And it's about learning those new lessons, because I have no idea who I'm going to be when I'm 60. I don't know that guy yet, but my mentor does know who that is. And my mentee has no idea what it's going to be like to be 41. So I can let him know what's coming, that journey. I had a conversation with a young man about erectile dysfunction. I had that issue in my 30s. And I had to change how I worked out, how I ate, how I structured. And so many men are ashamed to talk about that because we're taught and say, hey, you're supposed to have, to be hard and be able to have sex with all these women. But your body is your body.
Right.
So you have to adjust and understand and go through that journey. And it's okay to be a failure. And I think that's the key point is have a mentee, have a mentor, and be okay with failure.
We're both married.
For how long?
Almost 2 years for me.
2 years?
Good question. 5 years.
So, my guys, they want to get into a long-term relationship but struggle. What is your number one tip of keeping it for 2 or 5 years?
Communication, 100%, yeah.
It's a cliche to hear that, right? It's like, oh, just, communicate better, and then, people still struggle with it.
It's practice. It's a lot of work to learn to communicate to a different person with a different language. So you need to find the language that suits your two people together.
And how did you find it?
Trying to figure out each other's love language and then trying to put it in action.
Do you think it requires an effort to learn about it and study it and maybe work on yourself?
Yeah, I think so. First of all, you need to be aware of what's your own love language, and then they need to figure out their own, and then talk about both of your love languages, and then see which action can make you feel loved in your own language. So yeah.
Yeah, interesting.
I think for me, I'd say friendship. We started off having like a strong connection of just friendship, and I think it's been consistent and we've been growing our friendship and connection.
Yeah, I'd also say I think one of the keys is if it should feel like natural and easy. Like in previous relationships when you're like up against the tide quite a lot of the time, ultimately that's the decision of like, oh, should I stick with that or am I meant to move on? I think like there's no tide.
How do you guys make it easy?
I think always making each other laugh is a really good one. She thinks she's funny, but ultimately she's not. So she thinks she's the comedian of it. But no, I think laughter's a huge part of it. Massive, massive part of it.
How are you keeping friendship alive?
We like to hang out a lot, so we hang out every weekend. We'll do something, go paddle boarding.
Yeah, always like an activity, like not just sitting around doing nothing. Exercising together, like treating each other. I think also our love languages complement each other really well as well.
Okay.
So like the things that I crave and need to hear, she does it naturally because she also is kind of the same. So we don't feel like
together quite well.
Yeah.
Married for only like 2 years. Yeah.
So my guys want to find a relationship, but they struggle and they want to keep it for a while, right? So what is your number one tip or advice? How do you keep it for 2 years and how do you find it?
That's a very good question. I think for me, it's talking about different dimensions, right? I think it's important to know like we're always growing and we're always changing. But then when you see someone grow and when you grow with them, you get to see like, oh shit, there's so much more to this person and there's more to love. So when you explore, with each other and grow together, and it means a lot of things, right? Growing together. What does that mean? That's a whole different YouTube.
What does it mean for you?
That's self-growth, right? Kind of
Self-growth,
and then figuring out your shit, right?
So keep working on yourself even beyond just the dating phase.
Oh yeah, for sure. It starts with you, right? And when you love yourself, it's like you are irresistible. It seems like. And
what do you do like to keep that for yourself in this relationship with her?
I mean, for us, we're a little bit out there. We like to really, go deep into our shadows, right? And that requires a lot of fucking ayahuasca and mushroom ceremonies to really, explore deeply and then clear out your shit, right? There's so much in us, or in me at least, right? And I'm just talking for myself, that I have so much that I need to clear out. And going through that, it allows me to like grow and progress, and I feel like she sees that, and then we can grow together.
I think it's very important to look at your shadows because it is, at the end of the day, it's a part of you, right? And I think a lot of people who, let's say they have these traits where they're angry or they're jealous or what characteristics that would seem bad, they kind of hide away from it, right? But it's important to go straight to it and see it and look at it and be like, oh wow, okay, this is a part of me too. And if I
put that aside, then I'm not loving all of me. You have to love all the parts of you. And so it's so important to just do the shadow work. And that's what we've done together. So in order to have this deep, healthy relationship, I feel like that has worked for us.
So you both agree on the same point, or would you add something more to it from a female perspective?
From a female perspective, I feel that as we are growing in this relationship, he has grown so much more into his divine masculine, in a sense that he really does show me that he serves the divine feminine, right? And he does put me first, and I feel it. And when I feel that, I feel safe. My body's like, oh, I can just melt and rest into him and into his arms. And when I feel safe, I'm all yours. What do you want? What do you need from me? Right? I'm here for it. And so that's what it is.
Our second date was basically an ayahuasca ceremony. There's a lot of wooey stuff that we're talking about, but basically just get your shit together. Get your shit together, figure it out. Right? Like don't just jump into a relation. Don't use that as a distraction of like, oh, I'm bored. I need to go on my app and swipe right or swipe left.
To be happy yourself.
Yeah, figure out your shit first, right? And I think that's a big important thing. It took me a while. It took me a long time to figure out my shit, but like when I had that, I was like, oh, okay, now I can actually be in a real relationship. Before I was just distracting myself. Before I was just bored, right? And it was just stupid, and I didn't really care about myself. I didn't really look deep enough to figure out what I really wanted. So I think that's important for men.
I think it's so common for men, especially younger men these days, right? And they feel a bit lost and like don't know what to do, and they just isolate, and they don't even. And women complain like there's no men around. You have 2 years with a beautiful woman here. So what would you say to these lonely guys?
Basically, turn off your TikTok. Stop looking at your butt pictures on Instagram, right? That's basically it, right? The booty pictures. You're just lost in booty world, and you're just swiping, and you're just jacking off all the time, and you're just like, dude, this isn't the way, right? This isn't the way. Like, figure that out. But that requires a lot, even for me. It took a lot of work to be like, what the fuck am I doing? I'm just like lost in distraction world, right? And I think that's what happens to a lot of us, and even me. It's a practice, right? You fall off, you come back in. So you have to, the discipline is important, right? Figure that shit out.
What was your favorite dating and relationship advice? Drop a comment below under this video. Like and subscribe for more content like this. My name is Steffo. Blessings.